Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Brandon with muscleandstrength.com, and you're watching the very first video in the series Beginning Mistakes, where we try to take a look at things both in the gym and outside the gym that could potentially be limiting our progress. Now, regardless if your goal is to build muscle, gain strength, or just live a healthier overall lifestyle, these are all tips and tricks that we're going to use to make sure that we're hitting our goals more effectively and hopefully in a more timely fashion. So for today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about compound and isolation movements. Now, compound movements are any exercise that use multiple muscles in order to perform. So most notably, some of these exercises would be the bench press, the squat, the deadlift. Whereas an isolation movement, as the name sort of implies, is an isolated or targeted exercise towards only one muscle group, most notably the biceps, the triceps, the calves, and the abs. Now, whatever routine you choose to go to will probably have some combination of the two. However, the truly good routines will have more emphasis on the compound movements. And where most new people to the gym make the mistake is focusing too much on the isolation ones. Because they're interested in such things as having bigger arms or maybe a six-pack of abs, they neglect the compound movements. The way I like to look at this is like we're building a house. The first thing we need to do is establish a nice, strong foundation. And this is where compound movements come into play. Not only do they allow us to use the most muscle groups possible when performing an exercise, they also allow us to use a heavier weight in most cases. This is going to come into play in future topics that we talk about, such as time under tension and progressive overload. One of the mistakes people make when focusing on isolation movements is they try to just focus on one simple body part. If you've ever noticed the anatomy of somebody, most commonly people don't just have one big body part in relation to the rest of their body. The only person that really comes to mind to me is Popeye, and last time I checked, he was a cartoon character. Typically, those with the biggest arms also have the biggest chest, the biggest back, and the biggest legs, because they focus on things like compound movements. So, when you're out there looking at a routine, whether you're trying a tried and true one that you found on muscleandstrength.com, or you'd like to go ahead and experiment and create your own, just make sure that it has heavily based around the compound movements, and you'll be sure to see those goals a little bit faster and a little bit more effective. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for the next episode, and in the meantime, train hard.